Jade Bolden, and today I'm going to talk about a beautiful oil. It's called Peace. It's a blend of floral oils and a few tree oils. So let's get right into it. So I'll tell you a summary of what Peace can do for you, okay? So Peace, it helps with insecurity, fear, and worry. Who doesn't have that, right? Helps with focus, learning, hyperactivity, overreactions, mental strain, childbirth recovery, calming and soothing, hormone and libido balancing, meditation and spiritual connection. All right, it's an oil of reassurance, which is what we all want, right? Feeling of peace and contentment. Alrighty guys, so these are the ingredients in this beautifully balanced blend. Lavender, marjoram, vetiver, spearmint, frankincense, ylang ylang, clary, sage, labdanum. Alright, so I'll tell you about a few of them. Lavender, ylang ylang, clary, sage, floral oils helps with hormones, helps with skin, it helps with calming, okay, fantastic. Marjoram helps with a feeling of connection. All right, and it's fantastic with spearmint because it's one of those oils that help, I guess I want to say it compliantly, clear away environmental threats, okay? It helps, vetiver helps you feel grounded and present. Frankincense does that too. All right, so I don't know too much about labdanum, but if it's a tree oil, it helps with inflammatory responses, and it helps if it helps us be grounded, okay, if it's like any other tree oils. All right, so like usual, I like to talk about the body, the mind, and the spirit level of things. So let's get right into it. All right, so the Peace oil comes in two forms. It comes in a 5 ml full strength oil bottle and a roller bottle version of it, and this here is diluted. It's diluted perfectly for the whole family, so you can roll it straight onto your wrist, roll it on your tummy, on your chest, and just have the oils on your skin a little bit longer, and then you can smell the oils throughout the day. Okay, so I like to use it when my mind's racing and when I forget to smell the roses, if you know what I mean, okay? The 5 ml is great to put in like a diffuser, so you can put a drop in your necklace diffuser or in your water diffuser. So it's not diluted, so you can just open it up and just drip 1 or 2 drops in and then start that diffuser, and then the whole house and the whole family will smell like peace, and everyone will feel happier and more peaceful. Okay, so some of my top ones is a libido balancing, or applied on your wrist, on your ankles where the reflex points are for your reproductive system, and teach your body to balance the hormones. We all need help because in the environment that we live in the food that we eat, there's a lot of things that have xenoestrogen, and if you don't know what xenoestrogen is, look it up. It's an XENO, okay, xenoestrogen, and it's the synthetic version of estrogen. So if you think about it, it's sort of like the monster truck version of our little sedan version of estrogen. When you need a little guy a little bit to do the job that it needs to do, but this here is just a bigger, scarier version, unnecessary version of estrogen inside our body, and it triggers all of these responses that is not necessary, right? Unintended signals to the rest of our body. So young girls produce breast tissues earlier, they get their periods earlier. Both men and women have boobs, right? Man boobs. And it's just overproduction of those tissues. Then of course estrogen causes us to hold on to fat more, so we store fat in our fat cells, in our hips and our thighs, and in our buttocks, and just places where we're meant to store it when we're pregnant, right? When we're making babies, not all the time. Okay, so what plant estrogen does is it goes into the body and it helps us balance. So most of the time we are high estrogen, and so it helps reduce it. Okay, but throughout the month we always fluctuate. We're never a straight line level. When they say balance, it's always a balance that's fluctuating up and down in a normal pattern. All right, not all the way high and not all the way low. Okay, so that's what essential oils can do for you. All right, so apply that liberally on a daily basis. So that leads me to hormone balancing, which I was talking about just now, and fertility. So you can apply it to your abs. A lot of the xenoestrogens in our environment has caused problems like breast cancer and endometriosis and infertility, and the list goes on. So just to help with that, calming the tissues down as well, you can apply the peas to your tummy. So you wouldn't think that, because this is an oil for aromatherapy, but the ingredients in it has the ability to do that. So pretty awesome, right? The next thing you can do with it is focus and learning. So you can use that on your wrist and your chest, and just inhale it throughout the day to help you focus. Apply it to your palms, cup it over your nose and mouth, and inhale that. Put it in a diffuser and just inhale it just to help you focus, because sometimes our mind is overstimulated. We're thinking about too many things. We're multitasking, which isn't good, guys, by the way, and we're getting distracted. We're not doing anything well. Okay, we're doing too many little things not well. So this helps, especially with children, to calm them down and help them focus. It helps with childbirth and recovery. So during childbirth, you can imagine the woman being quite stressed because her body's going through a pretty dramatic change, right? And so, you know, it'll be helpful to diffuse oils like peace, but make sure the mum likes that oil first, okay? There are other options too, but this is another thing that you can do. And then of course, with that hormone balancing ability, is fantastic. And then it helps with recovery. So you can apply it to your lower abs because the tissues are recovering, and this oil is fantastic for that. Okay, frankincense is great for that. The spasms that happen when you're trying to, you know, piece things back together again. All right, I've had 4 kids, and it's, you know, it would have been helpful if I knew this. Okay, so for seasonal threats, so for the different seasons, sometimes little things like pollen can trigger a response. And so you want your body to respond in a calmer way. So imagine if you're using the peace oil on a regular basis, right? How calm would you be? So little things like a speck of dust, you know, piece of pollen or whatever, it doesn't create this overreaction inside your body. So as your body cleanses, you know, so you use healthy food and essential oils to cleanse your body, right? As it cleanses, your body will be more tolerant to allergens out there. Okay, and of course your mind will be different because you're not going to respond to the world in an overreactive kind of way, right? You see things in a better perspective, and so this is really good for the seasonal threats. Who would have thought? Okay, it's great for colic. So those little babies, rub it on their tum-tums, okay, in a clockwise motion, okay, so that the gas goes out the right way. And also you can apply it to your chest, moms, okay? And, you know, as you feed your baby will eat in a calmer way, so that they don't have so much gas. Sometimes as a new mom, you have lots of anxiety, right? And you're stressed, and the baby feels that stress. So the baby is eating in a stressful kind of way. And of course that causes them to swallow a lot of air, right? So this is fantastic. You can apply it to their feet and massage it in the middle of their feet too, because it's diluted perfectly. You can apply it and then just massage it in there. Just a little I guess swipe with the peace touch, it's going to be sufficient, okay? All right, let's go to the mind. So peace oil is the reassurance oil. Okay, so according to the Emotions and Essential Oil book, the negative emotion that it helps us release is the feeling of controlled, attached, afraid, spiritually disconnected, and unsafe. So guess what? Whenever we're afraid, just really think about it. It's us being disconnected from some divine power that can protect us. We feel unsafe. Okay, we respond that way because of the thoughts and the beliefs that we're alone or unsafe somehow, okay, or afraid. So this here helps remind you to adopt a more peaceful, serene, content, still, spiritually connected feeling. So in our day and age, we want to achieve so much, and especially I'm living in the US right now, and there's so much pressure to be productive. So if you want to be a good citizen, right, you want to be productive in your day, and sometimes you forget to be still and really enjoy what you've had achieved and be content with that. Sometimes we're afraid to be content because we think that equals to stopping our growth, or what do we say, just stopping that progression, right? So we don't allow ourselves. So we hold that happiness out there instead of holding the vision out there. So we hold the vision out, but we can still be happy now. And happiness will attract happiness. Okay, so if you want to be happy, you need to try and work on yourself and allow yourself to be happy now. Okay? All right, so for insecurity, fear, and worry, okay, so I have a daughter, one of my younger ones. She does this a lot. She worries a lot. So this would be something that is very easy to do. Apply the piece to your palms, rub it together, cup it over your nose and mouth, and just inhale. Get the oil molecules up your nose into your brain. Okay, and you can say something like, I choose to respond with faith and peace. I choose to respond with faith and peace, because sometimes we have stimulus and then we respond right away with fear. So we don't want to do that. We want to retrain our brain so that we can respond with faith and peace. Okay, so hyperactivity and overreaction. Okay, so that's like kids and adults that are just overly stimulated. Too much is happening all the time. In our modern day and age, we get that a lot, right? So diffuse it, cup it over your nose and mouth, inhale it, and get it into your brain so the brain can settle down a little bit, okay? And allow us to be human, right? Allow us to just take things that balanced pace. Okay, mental strain. So imagine if we can just release that wound up brain, how much more peace can we achieve, right? So diffuse it, and actually I would add maybe a drop of sandalwood as well with the peace, and apply it to your forehead so that you don't overthink too much. So sometimes when we're so fearful and worried for so long, we're in our brain a lot, and some people don't admit it, but I could tell because they have gut problems. Okay, that it's the norm for them, right? But guess what? If you can, be productive and not stress, would you choose that? Right? Yes, because some of us have a false belief that we're stressed equals to being productive. We need to be stressed. We need to be pushing ourselves in order for us to achieve. And that's a learned thing. We don't have to do it that way, okay? We can do it with passion, and we can do it with joy. And we can actually be less productive if we're stressed. Okay, so we can say, I only attach my happiness to positivity. So like I said, if you hold on to that happiness and peace inside, and then just hold out that vision so you can walk forward towards that vision, that's much better than holding that happiness out. All right, I hope that makes sense. All right, so spiritual connection and meditation. So you can apply it on your third eye, just in that upward motion and put it in your diffuser. And as you visualize your day, as you visualize your week, as you visualize your life and where you're going each day, you can diffuse this oil to help make those connections, to see things clearly instead of that rush. So if you connect your beautiful vision and your dream to that beautiful feeling inside, all right, it's easier to achieve than to imagine it and just stress over it and think about all the negative things. You know, how likely would it be that your subconscious would try to achieve that when it's so uncomfortable, right? So we've got to think about that. So remember to be unattached to the fears. Just let go. Okay, disconnect. The world will keep on going. The world will keep on moving and things won't fall apart. Trust me. All right, so if you have a lot of fears, try to do the fear setting activity, okay? The fear setting activity is just identifying your fears, facing your fears, and then resolving your fears as if it happened, and then making a choice here and now what you're going to do if it ever happens. And then when you're done and you've resolved it, all right, don't look at it again, because the more you look at it, the more you will create it. So when you've resolved it, it's done. You're not curious anymore. So now you can move on to living life with more faith, okay? So that's one thing you can do. So now let's move on to the spiritual side of things. So peace is the highest form of happiness and joy, okay? When you allow yourself to feel peace, you have everything in proper perspective. Your eyes are open to truth and light. You will see how you've attached your happiness to situation, people, and things that don't matter all that much in the eternities. Okay, so that one exam or that one little incident, you know what, it's not worth all that energy. If it doesn't matter in 5 years, 10 years, and in the eternities, it doesn't matter. So let it go. Don't give it power, right? You will recognize the worldly successes and achievements is secondary to the eternal spiritual connection and insight. So when we keep that perspective, we will continue to grow and achieve in the worldly way, right? In finances, in other successes, right? But those successes is more enjoyable, and it reflects our spiritual growth more. Okay, so remember, God gives us the power and strength we need to create our life. All right, so if we connect ourselves to God, we'll have that sense of peace, right? So it doesn't mean that you're void of growing pains and discomfort when you're growing. Being at peace still can mean that you're growing, that you're breaking through new boundaries, that you have this growing pain and discomfort. It's okay. It's not a bad thing, right? Sometimes people think that if they're uncomfortable, that they're not happy and they're not at peace. So you're muddling things up there a little bit, okay? I think we are not peaceful when we're not growing, when we're sitting in our comfort zone and staying there. You'll be so bored, right? So trust me, it's better to push forward and feel a little bit of growing pain. But, sometimes, when you're feeling fear, that's not growing pain, so differentiate that. So when we're in the state of peace, we can make friends with angels and heavenly beings, and then we can be more productive. So I really appreciate Dr. David Hawkins and his levels of consciousness. If you look here, okay, so when people vibrate in a low vibration, right, of course you can see that they're bound to be sick, right? You feel the energy of negative people. You do not want to be near them. They don't want to be near themselves or with themselves, right? And so that is a place for sickness and disease. So we have emotions that help us identify and see where we are on the levels of consciousness. So we have fear, guilt, shame, pride, anger. All of those are negative emotions that create disease. But then some of us can learn how to be more optimistic and forgiving and courageous and trusting. All right, and those people actually are happy in a sense and productive. All right, and they enjoy good health. But I don't know about you, I like to reach my highest potential. So I like to imagine myself having peak performance without stress. And that is achieved when we have understanding, when we transcend, okay, when we don't hold on to those fears attached to circumstances, people, and things. Right? We don't give those things power, and it's just attachment to our higher purpose, and that's it. And God, of course. So those people enjoy great health and vitality. And then we enjoy this synchronicity. If we reach higher to joy, gratitude, and love, we'll have this synchronicity with the universe and produce extraordinary outcomes, right? Little things that we do produce big results, that ripple effect, right? And we all want that. Okay, so one person can make a difference in the world because of that connection. Okay, and see, right on the tippy tip, right, is the peace. Because when you rise above and you just transcend, you allow yourself to be at peace with how things are in the universe, right? And you trust that things are meant to be. You know, I do my part, but the rest, right, I'll let it be. Let the universe, let God, take over. That is very liberating. And according to Dr. David Hawkins, and I agree, that this is the highest level of consciousness, okay? So isn't that great? So use that peace to help you feel more peace until you change the way you think, change your beliefs so that you can achieve more in your life without, ruining your health and ruining relationships perhaps along the way, okay? So I have my top 10 here, so you can download that and you can print it out if you like. If you do not have a doTERRA wholesale account, please contact me or the person that sent you this video, all right, and ask them how you can get one, because it's awesome. It's like, you're getting all of these things at 25% off and other promotions, alrighty. But when you join with me, I'll be able to give you 3 months of wellness protocol plan, and we can do other consultations and talk about some healing there. Guys, if you already have an account and if you want to do some energy healing with me, please contact me, schedule it on my website jadebolden.com, and we can meet and chat. Okay, I love helping people in that way. Alrighty, so that is all from me. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and healing, and I hope that you can enjoy and feel more peace in your life. Alrighty, so thank you so much. If you like this video, please like it, please share it with your friends. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.